Our first November meeting. This is our speaker series with Quinn Vittum. This is our regular meeting. We do have a couple guests, but they're here with Quinn. I don't know. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and to the group?
I'm Alexis Schultz. I'm the marketing and communications manager at Re-use, newly so. And yeah, excited to be here and so, yeah. Welcome.
Marketing, revamp management.
Tony, can you hear us?
I don't know.
And then this is Tony. He's interning with us, and he's amazing at video and sound. So this is our first time doing it. So thank you for letting us. Wow.
So our agenda today, we're gonna go over our birthdays. We have a couple new members who are here with us today. We're gonna review everything that we did in October, talk about our future events, and then we have Quinn who's going to speak with us, and we'll close with the four-way test. Our birthdays for November, we have Cleone and Talon, neither of whom are with us today, so no singing. Stephen Dickens here with us. We also have Joyce Lamb. Very excited to have you on board. After this, we can talk. I want to meet with both of you guys and talk about onboarding. Yeah, do you guys want to introduce yourselves to the club?
Oh.
Nope. I said first.
I'm Joyce. To be here. The club seems amazing. The work you guys do and people seem really nice. But yeah, thanks for having me. I'm a civil engineer in construction. Yogi Wong. Yeah. The main office is just across the street.
Let's walk over and come over. Oh, cool. Very cool.
And Stephen, I know you've been to a bunch of meetings already, but
So I think
Yes.
everybody's heard, Steve
Mhm.
Dickens, in the Navy. I'm a logistician by trade.
Oh, what?
Logistician.
What is that?
So,
logistics.
logistics.
Oh,
Contracting. So all kinds of Navy business, that's what I do. And yeah, so hopefully do that for another year and a half and then transition to a new job. You're all right, and stay forever.
What do you
Supply, I'm a supply officer in the Navy.
So you're a real Navy guy, or you're like civil service?
No, real Navy.
So what's your rank?
I'm a lieutenant commander.
Wow! Holy shit! You look so young.
He's
You
four
look
kids.
bad. No, but he's like James Bond. No, I'm serious. James Bond, Lieutenant Commander Bond. You will be when you grow up.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Does that mean that? Does he looks? I don't have no follow.
What's that?
I have no follow.
Okay.
He's super. He's super old. He's got a low handicap.
All right. So we had a great October. We had a number of events. On top of our incredible talk with Kumo Ramsey, we also had a seed bomb event. I can talk about it, or Susan, since you're on the line, do you want to talk about the seed bomb?
Sure, I'll talk about CBOM. So we met at the Ocean Friendly Garden, and we had a representative from the runoff water management place, and we got together and made these tiny little balls. So they're a lot smaller than the Genki balls, but just as messy. And then we're planning to throw them at some point. Right now we're looking at December 30th, but I won't be here, so I need somebody to help coordinate the workday to do that, or we need to pick another date. So I throw that out to the group, pun very much intended, to see if anybody wants to help organizing the throwing. Over.
Where do you throw it in, or where's the plan?
I think the plan, like the same place we did the Koala Mountain Watershed projects last year.
So more about it. Or, yeah.
Mhm.
Not where you think koalas are. That's a completely different location.
Yeah, so we're thinking about, marketing as kind of like a New Year's, like new growth kind of thing. So do it around New Year's and start the year off with some plants. And then we also had the Pearl Harbor Bike Path event.
Yeah, we had, actually, I do have some results here. So normally this path is like 5 miles long, and there's a whole bunch of organizations and businesses that work together, including the Navy.
To pick your trash. It's where you put
But
Yeah, burn pits.
So the bike path that we work on is, 5 miles, and where we are is usually like one of the most messiest and awful, like kind of like it's right by the junkyard, so it's where they bring in all the cars that are stolen, and then they dump them there and they strip them there and they sell them to the junkyard right next door, because the junkyard miraculously has their gates open. Anyhow, it was actually very clean this time. Normally like 8 to 12 tons is what has
That
been
was
pulled
clean.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should see other places. It's very clean. They would never have this along the path. And so what we found out was the guy who was doing a lot of the illegal activity had a drug overdose, so he died. And then the other guy, that was the one bringing in all the cars, and then the guy that was bringing in all the illegal mopeds and stuff like that, and a lot of illegal activity with that. Well, he's locked up in jail, so that's what HPD said. Which, so there was no cars in there. Like 1 year we had to work and got like over 30 cars out of the area. So it was pretty amazing how clean it was, and everybody there, like liking the people that have been there before, it was much cooler.
Mhm.
But look, as you can see,
Still a
there's
ton to
lots
do
of
though.
stuff. So anyhow, yeah, there's like usually like 300 to 400 volunteers along the whole path, and like about 15 groups that help. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
We touched what, like 100 yards?
Yeah.
Couple hundred yards?
Yeah, but
Mhm.
most places you could walk a long ways and get only one bag of trash. So.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the spot. So also we had a group from Schindler College of Business join us. They heard about us through Surfrider. And then we had a couple members who don't come to a lot of events, so it was really exciting to see Steve and Lori McCartney. So he's here in spirit, even if he didn't make it today. We also had the pineapple carving contest. So that was at the Kaka'ako Farmers Market. I can talk about it, or if you guys want to, since you were there. It was fun.
One more.
Oh,
Yes, we won more. We won more. We won. A lot easier than pumpkins, tell you that.
We're hoping to get a lot more people interested, but I think a lot of people just walk by and say, oh, that's really cool, and then walk on, so.
They were off a cruise ship.
yeah, we were expecting like 50 entrants or something. I think only 7 people actually stopped to make them.
Yeah.
So lessons to learn for next year.
Which is good.
Did people happen to donate?
Some people donated, some people bought pineapples, some extra
We sold
pineapples.
pineapples. Costco gave us a donation of $100, and we would have gotten some out of Safeway and Sam's, but I was a little late getting to them. Next year.
Yeah, but we have 3 winners. So
rolling in the pineapples.
So Rochelle won first place. It's one of Christina's friends. She got a $100 Macy's gift card. Second place was Hannah with the $50 Farm Lovers Hawaii gift card, which is all the farmers markets. And we also had third place, Elijah won a Jack Skellington plush, which you can see on the table over here. Yeah, about. Moving on. Our upcoming events for November. So we have a couple more. On the 18th, we have our tree planting project over in the Haleiwa Legacy Forest. This is the one where we will reach 10,000. So that's been our goal since 2019. And yeah, we're gonna make it. So we're gonna should have a good number of people there. And also we're going to celebrate at the Christmas party in December. And then we also have invasive algae removal with Malama Mauna Lua. So the Mauna Lua Huki is on November 25th from 9 to 12. And this is at Kuli'o'o Beach Park, kind of in Aina Haina on the way to Waikai. Also on the 21st, we're going to have for our club membership meeting, we have a club member speed dating. So this is kind of be an event where we get to know each other a little bit better, just spend some one-on-one time getting to know different aspects of each other's personalities and lives. And this will be especially great since we have so many new members to come and meet everybody. All right, and then we have the Christmas party on December 15th, and we are expecting as many of our members, hopefully all of our members, to be there. This is our big social event for the year. We need help volunteering for certain events. We have the Christmas cookie decorating. Can you? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely lots of help. We have set up breakdown. Well, we are partnered with Parlay. So that's Kahi's, Haparo's group, and they are, obviously, they do this, I think, every month or every other month. And so they have anywhere from like 100 to two, we have like to have 100 to 200 people come out. We have live music. We have, they already have like some drinks and food, like pizzas and stuff, but we're also securing drinks and hopefully more food donations. We have some good prizes, and we have a special like thing that we're doing. We're gonna ask people if they can bake sugar cookies to make the tree cookies, and have a decorating tree cookie contest for our 10,000 trees. So it's kind of like we'll have like a station. I haven't heard back from legacy trees to see if they want to help like on the table and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be good if they want to.
Yeah.
And then also share more of their company and what we do. And then yeah, helping set up and break down, and any types of donations. If you have any other companies want to donate like a gift card to somewhere, or if they want to be a food sponsor, where everything can help, because it's $25 per ticket, but it's like, I mean, that's like food and drinks, you know. Hoping to also, if we can fit it in, to have a white elephant for kids and for adults. So like some gift between $0 and $20. We'll probably just do it where you just go and grab, not the whole thing, because they're gonna have an actual talk with the stakeholders of the Sandy Beach Restoration Project, who started it last year. They've already got turtles coming back and hatching eggs on Sandy Beach in that area. And that's what we're raising funds for, is that area to the left of Sandy Beach going towards Makapu, where they drive all the trucks and stuff, you know. Yes. Anyways, we're gonna revive it. That's
So it's still illegal to eat turtles. I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I know you married to police officer.
All right. So
Good segue.
yeah, so for Quinn, welcome Quinn. Yeah, I'll admit I didn't have a bio, so I grabbed it from an article written about you, but you know, it's cool you have an article written about you. You all right? Okay, sounds good. So in 2006, Quinn and Selina Tarantino co-founded the nonprofit Re-use Hawai, which can recover about 70% of materials in deconstruction projects. The organization has completed about 800 such projects across the state over 16 years. In fiscal year 2022, crews salvaged 442 tons of materials, which provided resources for 20,726 residents and saved 364 tons of greenhouse gases. Vittum and Re-use were fiscal sponsors for the Honolulu Tool Library. They helped its founder with bookkeeping, fundraising, and gave the nonprofit a space at Re-use Kaka'ako's distribution center. Vittum also serves on the board at HEMIC and is a graduate of the Omidyar Fellows 2018-19 cohort.
There it is.
All right, we'll take a photo. Mhm.
All right, so while
No.
he's queuing that up, so the Genki ball, is that only in the Alawai or any kind of,
There was just a project with Department of Water Supply doing a Genki ball in what's it called? Wahiawa?
okay.
Wahiawa Community Park, I
So it
think.
could be any kind of polluted water.
Yeah, and then there's a project on the Big Island as well at
Okay.
Queens Park, Queen Lily Kalani Park.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really good
So-
project that we do raise funds for, with like businesses that wanna get their employees involved. Cause then they come and help make the balls for each, so it's kind of like an active fun event.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a big fundraiser for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll be
How
doing
long does
it-
it take to affect the water?
Within days. So
really?
our first big event, which was last year in 2022. We threw in 5,000 balls, and within about 10 days, it dropped from like 23 inches of sludge down to 5.
No way.
So
But
Yeah.
this past year, right, cause then there's more people that dropped.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's why there's like a lot, like, that's when you really know there's a difference, is when you start seeing the sea life come back and there's like
Yeah.
seals and sharks and like
Yeah,
all like.
the
rapids,
mullets.
all kinds of stuff is coming back into Alawai that
Yeah.
is.
Wow.
I still can't picture diving and swimming, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
huh?
I'm excited. So there's a pedestrian bridge that is scheduled to be installed and should be done by 2016 or 2026. And that's also the year where by 2026 we should make it fishable and swimmable. I would love to have like a swimming race. So everybody like on the pedestrian bridge overlooking it. I think it'd be
That's
cool.
awesome. Good work, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just
In
full screen.
Canva, can I make it?
Yeah, full screen down here.
Oh, no, there we go. Got it? Oh, it like plays on a. You can do the presentation in a minute 53, right? Here, I'll let you.
Yeah.
When he had to sharks in your.
So Christine, next time this happens, Christine is gonna be the presenter. At this point, she's really well versed. That's good.
Don't forget to share the screen.
Make him stand.
Oh, wait, no, you are.
Is that, yeah,
Wait, he's gonna sit,
I was gonna stand. Is that all right? Tony's the real one in charge though. Just let me know what you need.
Just make the screen move up so you can see your face for the couple of people.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Okay. How's it?
Ready when you.
Sorry, what was that, Jake?
I just move it back.
Okay. And how are we doing on the agenda? How much time do we have here?
One AM.
Okay. To do another beer run, huh?
Nobody can leave until you finish. Perfecto.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate you guys having us and also just love the work that you do and you know, where Kaka'ako's our neighborhood, so it's nice to be connected with y'all and also Stephen, right? Just wanted to share, like in March, I went on the USS Carl Vinson and had like a total just new appreciation for what the Navy does. It's like totally unreal. It's like their distinguished visitor program that they invited me on. So
Nice.
and nice work. I mean, it's just like unreal amounts of energy that goes into making that. To the Carl Vinson. Yeah, are you familiar with the boat? Yeah.
And some salt.
Okay, nice. So who here has been to Re-use Hawai over across the street? Okay, cool. Right on. And has anyone found anything cool that you want to share? What you got?
Well, before I moved here, I sold all tools
Oh,
that I acquired over 30 years.
so you came down to
You guys had every,
restock?
Hmm?
Nice,
well, I didn't want to restock, but
yeah,
you guys have a lot. It's pretty cool.
awesome. Good to hear, thanks.
I just bought an old saw to cut down my Christmas tree.
Oh, really? Nice. Like a handsaw?
Yeah, it's
Cool, perfect. Yeah, we got piles of them. Cool, well, thanks. Yeah, so we're a 501c3 nonprofit. like Jacob shared, I started in 2006. And our mission is to keep material out of the landfill and make it a reusable resource for the community. So really straightforward. And we've had huge traction with it. It's been amazing. So our slideshow here, we just want to share more about the impacts that we're making and invite you to be a part of it. And you know, depending on what your work is like, the engineers in the room can certainly you know, steer people in the right direction, because we're trying to change the demolition paradigm. So so first of all, our core programs are redistribution of material. So that's what our Kaka'ako warehouse is. We also do deconstruction work, so an alternative to conventional demolition. I'm going to talk more about this than anything else. We also do tree reclamation, so we see a lot of trees come down as part of road work, conservation work, residential construction. People take trees down all the time, and we can make more local resources out of that material as well. And then we have a small workshop where we build things out of salvaged material that can inspire what can be done with salvaged material. In fact, this office is kind of some good examples, like this window trim is from reuse. And then these, like, what do you call them? These kind of wood pieces over there, built-ins, are also from us. So yeah, lots of possibilities. And then we do workforce development, which I'm going to share more about, the opportunities that we have, like within sustainability, to actually create jobs and training opportunities for folks. So the issue is construction waste is the largest single contributor to the waste stream. We produce 600,000 tons of, call it C&D, construction and demolition waste, every year. And a lot of it's actually reusable or recyclable if we think about how we're doing the demolition work. And instead of smashing buildings down like you see here, what if we took them apart in the opposite order that they're built? So that's what we do. What's really exacerbated, this is cut off here. I wonder if we can move it up. Oh yeah, let's just move it over to, move it over to the side. What's exacerbating our challenge with that's fine, with waste is our landfills are closing. And it kind of snuck up on everyone. About 2 years ago, the construction demolition waste landfill announced they'd be closing. It's over in Nanakuli. And then around the same time, the city announced that they'd be closing Waimanalo Gulch, which is above the hill from Ko'olina. Kind of confusing. Everyone thinks it's in Waimanalo, but so yeah, now the city's faced with this huge challenge of finding where a new landfill could be. Turns out there isn't really a spot. And so they're just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And so that's why the work that we do is so important, because we're creating a system that's not reliant on landfills. Cool sound. Okay. So this is just a national stat which demonstrates more of the issue. We have, municipal waste, but the construction and demolition waste is just a huge contributor. But it's also an awesome opportunity because a lot of this material is actually reusable or recyclable. So we just got to kind of change the systems to make that possible. So what we're trying to do is get away from the linear economy, where we extract resources, manufacture goods, and then just dump stuff. And in some cases, there's like planned obsolescence that where things are just designed to break and you got to buy something new anyway. So I'll pass it over to Christina for the rest of it. No, just kidding. So the circular economy is a kind of there's a lot to it, but the three things that we talk about is keeping products and material in use. So that's what Re-use Hawai does, but there's also regenerating natural systems. So some of the work that you guys have done with the LOI or any other conservation work. And then designing out waste and pollution in the way that we design our economies. And so like architects can do a lot for that, speccing in deconstruction or the use of salvaged material in their new design. So if you want to learn more about circular economy, there's the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. She has a really awesome story. It's just cool just to check that out anyway. It's a QR code if you want. But there's a huge field of study around the circular economy. It's really fascinating stuff. So since we only scratched the surface, just wanted to provide this as a resource. So Ellen MacArthur Foundation. So here's what we do. We take buildings apart in the opposite order that they're built. And in the process, we can save up to 70% of the overall building. Doors, windows, plumbing, electrical fixtures, lots of lumber. And the really nice thing is the homeowner gets a tax deduction for the value of the salvaged material. This is a really critical part to the economics of it, where, you know, we might be a little bit more expensive than demolition, or at least equal, but people can justify going the deconstruction route because they get this really healthy tax deduction. I've got some economics coming up to share more detail on that. Yeah, sure.
How long did it take to deconstruct, like just a typical house?
Yeah, like 3 weeks. Yeah, with like 4 to 5 people on site. So the nice thing is, like, we do a lot of single wall whole house deconstruction, is like as if they were thinking of us when they built the places. They're so light and easy to take down, no wall cavity, no insulation. So but also there, I will say though, there's a turning of the tides where people really care. They just do. It's awesome. I mean, the economics are key, you know, especially here in Hawaii with the cost of living. But I've been doing this I started in 2001 doing this kind of work, and I just seen folks like really start paying attention to this environmental piece. There's also a lot of sentimental houses here in Hawaii where, you know, maybe their grandfather built the house and it just feels weird to demolish it, so they bring us in. So these are the 6 benefits of reuse, are kind of what we like to share and teach people about. So the first is obvious, you know, reducing waste, but also emissions. So there's lots of embodied energy in building materials. So when we can save material, we not only do we preserve the resources, but also all the energy that was originally invested into that material in the first place. So that's a really big one. The other one is just providing local resources to folks. In 2022, we tracked it was about a $500,000 in savings to the community, as compared to just sourcing equivalent new material. And for the folks that have been down to our place, I mean, it's just really fun. There's a free section. There's just, you know, certain things that you just get, you know, for a fraction of the cost of what it would be new. So folks benefit hugely from that. We also find, yeah, maybe, yeah, we haven't turned to Alexis on that. So also we yes, thank you. So there's also just a tremendous amount of like really special material in old buildings, so we can also preserve that. I brought this 2x4 it's just standard rafter material from an old house, but it's like amazing, super tight grain, no knots. And if this were disposed of, demolished by our friends, it would be lost forever. You know, you can't get it unless you salvage it from an existing building. Well, so that's an interesting thing. The C&D, they don't like at H power. It messes up the way they process the waste. So they actually want municipal more than anything over there.
Chemicals in there that preserve life.
Yeah, well,
Oh, they burn all places.
yeah. Yeah.
I can't throw her, there might be we need somebody who's set for that.
Sorry.
No. So I want to know what you guys are murmuring about. So this is the Ulupono office, another great example of what can be done with salvage material. I love this one because this design, because it's in the First Wine Center, like the 28th floor, and it's all material from like an old house in Kapahulu. You know, I just think it's great. And then, yeah, just giving second life to material that has significance to our culture and our history. This is the Patagonia store, and this is all Ward warehouse beams. So and it's from like 2 blocks away, so it's like bioregionally sourced, and it's just a really cool example of what can be done with salvage material. Check that out if you haven't been in. All right, so the economics, back to this. This is just a rough and dirty deconstruction upfront cost, a little bit more than demolition. But you get this tax deduction for the value of all the salvage material. And then in the end, you're actually saving $6,700. And this is taken from that time lapse too. And a lot of it depends on the tax bracket of the client, and we never really know, but we kind of base this off of, I think it says it where it's cut off, 42% tax bracket, so it might not apply to everybody. So yeah, that's how we make it work and do 70 projects a year. Brian's like, oh, you're taking all my jobs, man. And I'm like, yes. And then the other opportunity that we have is just providing jobs and training for folks. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this because in the last 3 years, it's become a big theme of our work is workforce development. And turns out there's, let's see, yeah. Turns out there's just like parts of our community that need additional support and opportunities around employment and training. And so, yeah, we want to be a resource for those folks. And I think our work is a place where you can kind of learn a lot. There's lots of different things that you can do. We have some folks that work on our deconstruction program. And when you're taking buildings apart, you learn how they're built or shouldn't be built, and learn about tool use and teamwork and materials and all this kind of stuff. So, and we're currently partnered with a bunch of other organizations to provide these opportunities for folks. The first and the main one that we team up with is Kupu. They're another 501c3 nonprofit, and historically they've done like conservation work, but they're interested in partnering with us to do more of like kind of construction, sustainable building type of stuff. Yeah, so it's been really great. Over 70 participants this past year through like about 10 partnering orgs. So. And we're in a workforce development training program based in the Bay Area. It's called Red F. And so they're giving us some funding and teaching our workforce development coordinator more about like how to make it successful. And one of the things they taught us about was the difference between different employers. And so there's like social support organizations, like think IHS. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there's like Apple or McDonald's, regular employers. And then employment social enterprise is kind of in the middle, where we're sort of running a business, but there's also some interest in supporting the workforce development, the larger community. And it's not like necessarily a money maker, right? But we want to do it to make an impact. So more to come on the workforce development things. We're finding it to be a really important time with the environmental work we do to provide more of the social support. And then the last couple of slides is about our tree milling program, which is super fun. We got sponsorships from Kosasa Family Foundation. They're the folks that own ABC stores, and Hunt Development, which is this big developer that's working out in West Side. Yeah, so we take in trees that would otherwise come down and we make more resources out of it. This is a bunch of Norfolk pine from Wahila Ridge, up St. Louis Heights, and just like gorgeous stuff. Where do you ever find like that for woodworkers? It's just like a dream come true. So that's really exciting. We're going to be doing more of that too, and of course all this stuff we train and employ people to make it all come to life. Yeah, and then follow us on social media, the Instagram in particular. There, shout out to Alexis. There's just a lot of fun stuff that we like to tell a story of, and then we're open Tuesday through Saturday. So the trick to reuse is coming in often to snag the cool stuff as it's coming in. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to share, but I'd love to talk story and take questions and discuss.
Could you tell me about, I think it was Roosevelt High School, like there's a lot of things that, and then also the hotel in Kauai, because there's a lot of things that I guess you're just thinking of houses, right, that are being deconstructed, but other things that can be constructed as well, that can, if it's top of mind, it's really to share if you know somebody's doing these things. So.
Totally. Yeah. So Roosevelt was really fun. There's like, I don't know how many alumni, but it seems like everyone went to Roosevelt. You did, right? So we were contracted to remove all the bleachers from the old gym. We're getting ready to build a new gym. Just great impacts in terms of preserving more of that old growth stuff. And then there's a Hawaii News Now story about it because the social media thing kind of blew up. All these people talking about their experience in the gym, and it's like pretty touching. People like learned how to play basketball and taught their kids how to play games there, and just a neat story. So yeah, then the hotel stuff I didn't talk much about, but in Hawaii, our hotels and resorts refresh their furniture every 5 to 8 years. And it represents a huge flow of material that is actually pretty decent these days. It used to be like sort of cheesy rattan, but now it's like really nice, like can be like modern furniture. So despite our better judgment in 2020, we mobilized over to Princeville Resort, which used to be St. Regis, which is now one hotel. They hired us to liquidate the entire hotel, all the furniture, all the back of house stuff. And we did there's on these hotel projects, there's so much stuff that we just do these community give back campaigns, any other nonprofits that can use this stuff. When you have like 250 dressers, it's like, who wants one, So that's a nice thing. And that project was at the peak of the pandemic, so it was nice to support people. And we're going to be doing more of that. Moana Surf Rider, the Ala Moana Hotel, all kinds of stuff.
They get tax breaks too for this too, right?
Yeah, so all the materials tax deductible. How the individual corporation can leverage that is up to them to figure out. But yeah, and I think too, back to the point that like people really care. The Princeville Resort folks like hired a consultant and said, we want to make sure we do this sustainably. Tell us how to do it. So they linked us up with them. So yeah, so we're seeing more of that, which is really nice. Thanks for the question, Christina. Jacob.
Yeah, I was wondering with the tax deduction, is that something that was already there when you started this, so you could take advantage of, or is that something that you had to push for?
Yeah, so basically the IRS tax code is that folks can donate material and get a tax deduction for it. So we just plug into that
Like,
pre-existing system. Yeah, like Goodwill. Yeah, it's just a larger scale. It's like $40,000 worth of building materials versus like a box of clothes. It's worth $10. So, yeah.
And besides you and the three contractors that you work with, how do you see this scaling into an industry that can support all the waste that needs to be
Yeah.
recovered?
Yeah, it's a great question. Christina mentioned the legislation, and that's going to be a really important piece to just sort of shift the paradigm enough. And then what we'll see happen is there'll be industry players that come up to start doing the deconstruction besides us. So what happened in Portland, Oregon, they passed a mandate, so you basically can't do demolition in Portland. And
Also too.
yeah,
She helped make that happen.
sweet. No, it's great. And so yeah, the rebuilding center, which is our equivalent in Portland, they stopped doing deconstruction, and now there's all this private industry. So, and everyone says, oh, you don't want the competition. It's like, kind of we do if we really want to see the circular economy come to life here. So
A couple things, I actually built a couple of Adirondack chairs last week. And I almost called it off because I went to Home Depot and I was just like, yeah, I'm not paying that for the wood.
yeah,
And
cedar or,
nope, no, just treated pine.
oh really?
Yeah. And it was gonna be like, it ended up being a couple $100 for 2 chairs. And I was like, I don't know about that. My buddy ended up going and it was a gift. So I did the project, but like, I would have, are you guys open on Friday? This Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then the other thing, and it's not gonna be flattering for me, but the ships in Pearl Harbor, one of the things that part of my job is to deal with the trash. Ships generate a ton of trash, and it ends up on the pier for the most part, because there's not a place to like, other ports, especially for mailing, it's easy to get rid of crap.
Yeah.
So like mattresses are one thing that's almost impossible to get rid of. Right now, there's a pile of pallets that just sit on the pier because material comes to the ships on pallets.
Yeah.
Take it off and then they put it on the pier and it just sits there. And then we have contracted vendors to like actually remove it. I don't know where it goes.
Yeah.
Goes to their partners.
It goes to a bike pack. So that's kind of like, what I'm seeing it. We create a ton of trash. Then also anytime a ship goes to an overhaul, stuff gets torn out of the ships and we just throw it away.
Yeah.
I'm trying, I'm sitting here during your presentation and trying to figure out a way to make that work. I'm not, the Navy's not gonna take a tax write-off, that's not how it works. But I do have some influence on how trash leaves the ships. So maybe that's something we could talk about.
Love to.
At some other point and to figure out if there's a solution there.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
No, there should be. Yeah. Couple of ideas there. So yeah, we should definitely chat.
Yeah. Drink machine is on the pier right now. I got a generator on the pier. There's a ton of crap.
Oh, really?
It's been like they finally pointed at us. So we're in charge of all the ships, my command. And they finally pointed at us for getting all the stuff off the pier. And I'm running into there's nowhere for it to go. Because the landfill doesn't want it. I can't ship it. I could ship it back to the mainland. That is an option. I could put it on another USS and put it back to the mainland on their way through. But what normally happens is that they'll stop in Hawaii, dump everything that they've been meaning to throw away on deployment. And hey, now they're on that soil, so we can just dump it on the pier. And then they head back to San Diego, Washington, and they were stuck with figuring out, now we have to go through the dumpsters, take it all out. If it's not food waste, if it's not burnable, we gotta take it out, and then what are we doing?
Totally.
So they're
So-
basically, what you're saying is Navy's basically bringing in trash from somewhere else and dumping it in, like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's figure out.
I just finished a William and Mary.
When you envisioned that you were gonna join the Navy, you were successful, did you envision that you were gonna deal with this
Trash.
stuff?
So
Not
I was gonna
trash,
say-
stop.
I too, a garbage man. No, this is unusual. This is not something that I was expecting to do. But I have taken it on as my coolie honor to finish this up, see it out. So,
That's why you're
Yeah,
here
that's-
today.
yeah, that's why I'm here, right? There's not a whole lot of Navy guys here right now, so.
But man, you're a pretty high ranking officer.
Hey.
Seriously.
And really, like, and you know, to that point, I could put it off on someone else. But I've chosen not to. I've chosen to take this as a project of mine because, you know, there's two things, right? So obviously the environment, do something about it. And then the other thing is, if I don't do something about it, then I put it on my sailors that are on the ships. And so it's like, you know, somebody has to deal with it. This person probably doesn't have the bandwidth or the capability or the knowledge of how to do it. And I have the time and the resources to do it.
These people. No,
There you go.
You be-
And-
Call me,
Right.
I don't know what his name is, but he's
Doug.
Biancho. Call us.
Well, those pallets would go for some wooden legs, but, yeah, so. The difficult thing is that there are boundaries between federal government and local economy. You know, to give it to reuse and not have any charges for it, then, you know, there'd be something, you know, that'd be my concern. I mean, we have publications and instructions and all this stuff, so like, bureaucracy between me and getting the job done.
Yeah.
So that's
Brutal.
you know, that's where my education comes in, is trying to navigate that and figure out how to do the right thing within that construct, which is definitely challenging and
Is everything 100% self-contained, or do you ship anything back to mainland?
No, never. Yeah.
So there are smelting plants here and.
Well, so we focus,
You're not.
Skip the name. Reuse Hawaii.
so we focus on reusing material because you don't have to process anything. Is that for recycling, you have to be close to a recycling plant, some sort of avenue.
So were the older houses here built with copper or lead?
So metal, we
So-
can't,
so-
yeah,
So, yeah, copper piping is gone through the roof. I mean, people
Yeah.
are stealing copper wire.
yeah.
Out of places.
Actually, that is, sorry, I stand
Or
corrected.
iron.
We do recycle metal and I suppose that eventually gets shipped off. So that would be the one item, yeah.
Cause I know the big thing in the western United States was like people were stealing manhole covers.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah,
Sell them for the cost of the metal.
yeah.
You drive your car into a hole.
There was a guy on H1 that,
Yeah, well, those are platinum.
yeah.
Catalytic converters are platinum. That's why they're cutting those out.
yeah, that's crazy.
Hawaii's had all their buses have been built to.
That's
Security.
What is
Joel story.
that's been sitting in your warehouse forever? That has just been there and nobody's taken it. There's always one.
Well, yeah, it's something that we struggle with and trying to get better at moving stuff to the free section. Jalousie glass, you know, jalousie windows, just more people taking down and putting it in, you know, so if you need jalousie glass. A friend of mine did a shower tile out of jalousie glass.
What is jealousy glass?
They're like
That's a-
4-inch strips of
Yeah,
glass.
it's the
It's like when you got a hot
Louvers?
wife and
Yes.
you're jealous.
Oh, the glass louvers, all right.
Jealousies.
I need one.
Oh.
It's like
Different name.
your wife is good looking, you're mad when somebody said hello.
Yeah, one jealous.
Nobody thought that on that, so, video.
Shower doors too, Yeah.
Like anything weird.
filing cabinets. Yeah, we did a big state project and just way too many filing cabinets, but good for storage. That's what, metal desks, yeah, the tanker desks.
Plus,
The old government metal desks?
There was a big filing cabinet that we pulled out of there.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So this might be outside of your area, but so like you deconstruct the house and then there's like leftover materials that just cannot be possibly used. I'm assuming that goes to a landfill or something, or maybe a
That's-
tower.
Yeah, PVT landfill at the moment,
Oh.
yeah, for the next 4 years, it'll be going there, yeah.
So, like, so once stuff gets burned at Ace Tower, there is still like leftover stuff. So like, there's no landfill, where does that go?
Exactly, that's a big consideration of the city.
So we.
There's been an RFP open by that for like 60 years.
It's just filling up too fast.
Oh, so it's gonna.
So there needs to be some.
Take that call.
Either makes people to do it or it's gonna cost way more than itself.
But I mean, like, no matter what, there's always gonna be some amount that goes to H power.
Yeah, I think it's about,
So much.
I think it's,
Thank you, Susan.
I forget what the percentage is, but I remember, cause I did this is my podcast, and I did it with, what's his name? Michael Keith, yeah. So he talks all about the landfill situation. You wanna. dive in?
Christina knows everything about everything.
No.
Mhm.
Well, since 2017, I've been interviewing all of these people, so
What do they?
today I just finished, with Albie Miles on food systems, or Hawaii food systems, which, we have actually no plan for, so you can, this is a problem with track. We have no plan for it. That seems more.
So I'm gonna close out the meeting with the four-way test.
No.
Anyone want to lead?
So if I don't see you like that, you know.
One, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Two,
Is it fair to all concerned?
three,
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
four.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned? 5, will it be eco-friendly and fun?
7.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Beer.